it's a time of year when a lot of people that have been contemplating divorce decide to actually file for divorce. Unfortunately, it's always a sad time. We are here at the Gifford Group to help people make informed decisions about their divorce. And the main thing that we actually focus in on what to do about the house. The house is where we kind of are the experts. That's where we spend the most time. We've helped over 300 couples go through divorce, talk to them, help them make informed decisions. We've helped them sell, buy, refinance. So that's kind of where our expertise is. And one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about today, a lot of times deciding what to do about the current mortgage, the current house is the big deal. It's the deal breaker that the attorneys really can't help you out with because they're not mortgage experts. They're not real estate experts. So really, we're the people that they kind of turn to. And me and Amber have both been through our own divorces. So we come from a lot of not just knowledge of what you can do about the house, but also the personal experience that we bring to it. We do have some exciting news that I won't tell you about in this video. That's going to be coming out soon too as well. But realistically, there's like 4 main options you can do stuff with a house. One of them is the first is, the quickest and easiest would be to sell the home, right? You kind of just decide, put the house on the market, see what you could sell it for, and then you guys split the proceeds down the middle 50-50. Obviously, if someone contributed more or less, then you can deal with that issue. But it's kind of the safest thing. We know we deal with the house, we get it sold, we deal with the mortgage. It's out of both people's names. The second one is that we'll kind of break it up to 2 parts. It'll be the cash out / buyout. We do recommend here at the Gifford Group for the mortgage side that we do recommend doing a buyout. Now, the buyout allows you to tap more equity. It has a better rates and better terms. It's a little bit cheaper to originate that loan. So just overall, it's a better product for you to go with versus a cash out. Cash out usually limits you to about 80% of the home's value. And then obviously the rates are going to be higher and the originate the loan is going to be a little bit higher as well too. The third option will be to do an assumption. Let's start with the good things. Good thing is that it doesn't change the current mortgage, and a lot of people got great interest rates. And they're like, hey, I got a 3% interest rate over here, so I don't want to get rid of that. Awesome. The problem with it is that nothing about the loan can actually change. No equity can come out of the home. So if you are in a situation where you do have built up some equity about the home prior to 2020, you probably have some nice buildup of equity in that home that is just going to kind of sit there. Unless you got funds that you can move it afterwards to pay out that equity. You can pull out 401k, IRA money, just cash to deal with that equity that's left in the home. The equity is going to stay in the home. So it does allow you to keep the same mortgage. The other problem we run into is that the mortgage itself, you don't know if you can actually do an assumption until you are done with the divorce. So divorce has to be finalized before they'll really talk to you and give you answers. You'll still have to go through the approval process. You'll still be based on your income, and there's no money coming out of the home. So the other thing that's great about doing a buyout is we can sometimes pay off other debts that would stop you from otherwise being able to keep the home. So if you do have high interest rate credit cards or a car payment or whatever, we can sometimes roll those things into the new mortgage to pay off those debts to allow you to stay in the home, for the person that's staying in the home, or pay off debts of the person that's leaving the home. There's some flexibility we have in there for the buyout that you just won't have with an assumption, because you're just really just a mortgage is staying the same. It's still going to cost you probably between $3,000 to $5,000 the assumption, so it's not free. There's going to be costs associated with doing the assumption, and so you will be bringing money to close. With the buyouts, we typically try to get you to come to the closing with $0 out of pocket, so that allows you to save your money, because you are going through divorce. You're already paying attorneys, paying filing fees, you're paying all these other things, and you're going down to one income. We recognize that and understand your concern with that. And then the fourth option, which we don't really recommend, but I'll speak on to, is just, hey, kind of do nothing with the mortgage itself. And then we'll put some paperwork in there to say, which you'll hear this term, and I have a blog article about it, and we've talked about it in other videos. It'd be the deed to secure assumption. And so the deed to secure assumption basically just says, hey, if you don't pay this, then I have the right to take you back to court. Now, I've had multiple conversations with multiple people about what their options, and basically you need to go back to your attorney and say, hey, they're not doing what they said they were going to do, and then you can take them back to court, and then you can file try to foreclose on them, which isn't going to be fun, which is going to be nasty, and there's going to be fighting along the way again. So because you didn't settle the house during the part of the negotiations when you were dealing with everything else as part of the divorce, you're going to be left with trying to figure that out post-divorce and hiring another attorney or your same attorney, and probably another attorney as well too, to help you deal with that because a lot of family law attorneys don't actually deal with real estate law and deal with foreclosures themselves. So you'll be getting another attorney involved at some point as well too. So overall, I just, those are kind of the four big options you have. Obviously, we, like I say, we recommend steps 1 or 2. Sometimes just selling a home isn't always the best choice. Sometimes the only choice. Sometimes we just don't have the money or the income. We have to rent. I personally, when I went through my divorce, I actually rented. I thought I was going to rent for 6 months post divorce. And then I actually end up, liking renting a little bit longer. And I was able to save money. So it was like 6 months. I thought I was going to be renting and ended up renting for about 3 years just because it worked out well. The thing about when you're going through divorce, you're finding yourself a lot again and trying to figure out what is the best place for you and trying to find your, footing. And sometimes having that freedom as far as just knowing what your rent's going to be, and if there's anything broken, you're not going to have to deal with it, is awesome and amazing. So it is kind of a stressor to own a home at some point, especially when it's just one person, because everything kind of falls back on you, falls back on your income. And if you are going through divorce, sometimes, like my situation, I was paying child support on top of, trying to save money, and buying a new home at the time of divorce wasn't the right decision for me. It might be the right decision for you, depending on your number of kids and schools and all the other things. It worked out well for me to rent. We never tell people what to do. We always just say, here's what we did and here's your options. So if you are going through divorce and you are thinking about what are your options and you want to speak to us personally, you can schedule a call with us at thegiftergroup.net. It's a free phone call if you're here in the state of Texas. We will walk with you through the steps of what you can do and what you can't do as far as the real estate side goes. So as always, we're here to bring you real life experience to all your real estate needs.